In today's video, we're going to review the Abeka Academy Video Homeschool Program. I reviewed this program a couple of years ago on my channel, but they just came out with a brand new free trial offer that's very different from what they had offered in the past. So I thought this would be the perfect time to show you the Abeka Academy online homeschooling program and everything that it has to offer. So let's get started. So for those of you who have never heard of Abeka, let me just give you a little overview. Abeka is a very popular Christian homeschool curriculum that you can get for kids in pre-K all the way through 12th grade. And while you can absolutely teach this curriculum yourself, they do also offer a video homeschooling program that can help take some of the pressure off of parents. You'll still need the physical curriculum books, but instead of you teaching it, your child will follow along with the classroom videos and do their work along with the video. So in this video, we're going to focus on the Abeka Academy Video Homeschooling Program to hopefully help you understand what it's all about and decide if this might be a good option for your family. So I mentioned that there is a brand new free trial. So let me just explain what has changed. In the past, the free trial of Abeka Academy included 25 hours of streaming video lessons. So even though it said that it was a 1-week free trial, it was actually 25 hours that you got to use, and you could use it however you wanted for whatever videos you wanted to watch, and there was no time limit until you hit that 25 hours. And I know for a lot of families who already had the books, they could save money doing this because they could pick and choose which lessons they needed their child to watch the videos for and make that 25 hours kind of stretch out for them. But you can't do that anymore. However, the old version of the free trial didn't include any samples of the text lessons that went along with the videos. So now it is a little bit different. You're going to get 1 week of lessons for several different subjects, and it will include the lesson PDFs that go along with those videos. So you can really get a good idea of how the whole program will work. But you're not going to be able to choose the lessons or start at the beginning of the course. The lessons are going to be from a week in the middle of the course that they pre-select. So this won't be useful for the families who already have the curriculum and just wanted to be able to pick and choose the lessons like they used to let you do. You can get the free trial with just your email address, so you won't have to give them any credit card info, which is great. Then you're going to pick a grade level to test out, but you can change this. So you can use this free trial to test out several different grade levels if you want to. So I'm going to show you some samples of the lessons, and then we'll talk about what I think about this curriculum. But first, I just want to talk about the cost. Because if you do like this program and want to purchase it for your child, there is a significant cost involved. So you can purchase the Abeka Academy Video Homeschool Program either as a single subject or as a full or half-year bundle. So for instance, you could purchase 4th grade arithmetic here, and it will cost you $490. This includes the books. Without the books, it's $430, but you do need the books in order to use this homeschooling program. So the only reason you might not want the books is if you already have them. Maybe if you use them in the past for a sibling. If you want to purchase the full year 4th grade video homeschool program, the cost depends on whether you choose a half year or a full year. You'll also choose whether or not to include the books, although again, you will need the books to do the program. And then you can choose either accredited or independent study. If you choose the accredited option, you'll also get report cards, testing, and record keeping. This option does cost a bit more than the independent study option, but you can choose one of their payment plans if you'd rather not pay for this all up front. Okay, so now let's take a look at what one of the courses would be like. I'll show you a few different grade levels and lessons so you can get an idea of what this program is all about. So why don't we start with a 3rd grade science lesson. So you can see here, it's giving me these 5 lessons to view. And if you click download here, you'll get the lesson PDFs that go along with the videos. And this also includes the video manual, which is something you get when you purchase the Abeka Academy program. It helps you prepare and have everything ready for your child. And you can see this manual is showing all the lessons, but it has science highlighted since that's what we're looking at here. So it gives you a little overview of what the lesson will cover, and then it tells you what you need to do over here. And if I keep scrolling down, you can see that it includes the textbook pages that would go along with these lessons. So if you purchase the program, it's going to be the same thing, except you'll have a physical book. But you'll be doing certain pages each day that go along with the video lesson, and the video manual is going to tell you exactly which pages and activities go along with each video. Okay, so now let's just watch a little snippet of this video, and then we'll take a look at a couple more courses.
Let's take off to outer space by looking at our solar system, starting with the closest planet to the sun and working our way out. Say them with me. Ready? Begin. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. One more time. Give them to me again. Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Have a seat. Which planet would take the longest time to make an orbit around the sun? Amory?
Mars?
Not Mars, no. Monroe?
Neptune.
Why would Neptune take such a long time to orbit it?
Because it's most far away from the sun.
It's furthest from the sun. So what planet would actually be the shortest distance to travel around the sun? Bree? Mercury would be. Why would Mercury be the planet with the shortest distance to travel? Jake?
Because it is the closest to the sun.
Good. Do you remember that phrase? My very earnest mother just served us nachos. And if you don't like nachos and you can think of another snack that starts with an N, you could use that one as well. But the letters of that phrase represent the first letters of those planets in the correct order. M for Mercury, my. Very, V for Venus. Earnest, E for Earth. Mother, M for Mars. Just, J for Jupiter. Served, S for Saturn. Us, U for Uranus. Nachos, N for Neptune. It'll help you to keep those in the correct order. Let's take a look now at the planets without their names. Can you tell me them in the correct order? What planet, students watching, is the second planet?
Okay, so that's what the 3rd grade science lessons are like. Now let's check out something for kids who are a little bit older. How about 7th grade world history? Here's the sample PDF, which includes the video manual to let you know what you need to do as the parent. And if we scroll down, we can see what the lesson pages are like for this course. And remember, this is 5 lessons worth of material. Now let's watch a little bit of this middle school history video.
All right, students watching with us, let's get right into our homework, and Ethan is helping us out with number 1. Ethan, who were among the earliest known inhabitants of the British Isles? Ethan, we know there's a superlative. There can only be one that is the earliest, okay? And there may have been more than one, but we're only talking about one, okay? Among the earliest known inhabitants. Who was that?
The Celts were the earliest inhabitants of the British Isles.
The Celts. Are we talking about a basketball team here? No, it's actually pronounced the Celts, okay? But I think sometimes the basketball name throws us off. All right, thank you. The Celts. It does look like Celts, though. Number 2, name a Celtic hero who still lives on in imaginative legends.
King Arthur is some Celtic hero who lives on imaginative legends.
He is an imaginative legend of the Celtic heroes, King Arthur. Thank you, Princess. Okay, number 3. Tucker, explain the origin of England's name.
England's name has become an inspiration to all freedom-loving people, particularly Americans, for the heritage of the United States is deeply embedded in English soil.
The problem is it wants to know about the origin of England's name. And so what is the origin of England's name? And that was the homework question. No, you don't know where it originated? This was in our reading. Students watching with us, you remember the Jutes, Anglo-Saxons, and then the Anglo-Saxons, and then Angleland, and then England, okay? So make sure that you're thinking about the question.
Okay, let's just take a look at one more course now. How about high school math? Let's look at this Algebra 2 course. So again, you're going to have this sample PDF with the video manual as well as the lesson pages that go along with the 5 lesson videos. So this is 5 lessons worth of textbook pages. And now we'll just look at a little bit of this video and then we'll go over a few more things about Abeka Academy.
Hope you did well on that test. We're going to start into chapter 5. Now, open your books, page 222. I like this chapter. There are some interesting things that we're going to look at in this chapter with applications. You'll see some business applications. So if you're interested in business, maybe when you are working, you're off on your own and you want to open a business, there are some things that you'll see in this chapter that we're going to be able to use. You may not necessarily do it by hand, but you'll be able to read spreadsheets because of it. You'll understand what's going to happen. We're going to start to look, and you see in your books, systems of equations and inequalities. Now, we have already looked at equations and inequalities, and you see the term systems. Mark this term in your book so you can see what it is. A system of equations is a list of equations in which each equation describes relationships between the same 2 variables. Now, we're going to look in this chapter at 2 equations being in a system, and we looked at that in Algebra 1. You probably have seen that before, but in this chapter we're also going to look at ones that have 3 equations. And so we're going to learn a little bit more and get into some other interesting things. Let's talk about what a system of equations is. I'm going to write one up on the board so you can see this. Write it in your notes. We're going to solve it here in a little bit. I'll show you how to solve them, but this is an example of a system of equations. X plus 3y equals 3. And then you've got another equation, 2x minus y equals -1. Together, that is a system of equations. Now, could I graph one equation? Have we done that before? Yes, we did that in the last chapter. I could graph this equation. Now, I'm going to do that in a little bit. And then I could also graph this equation. What will happen with a system of equations? Now, I'm not going to graph them quite yet. I'm going to just draw a sketch so you can think about this. But if I were to graph some of these types of things, you'd have a Cartesian plane. And then let's say you have a line from one of the graphs, and then you get another line from another graph. They're going to intersect. Now, not always. And we'll talk about that here today. But if they do intersect, write this in your notes, that point of intersection we're going to call the solution. That solution is important. It's a point. So when I'm solving for these, you're going to have an x and a y for the point. You're going to get an x value and a y value.
Okay, so that was a lot to see, right? But I'm hoping it gave you a pretty good idea of what the Abeka Academy video homeschooling program is like. And I know you guys often want to know how I feel about a program that I'm reviewing. So let me give you my thoughts on Abeka Academy. First, I'll go over what I like about it. Well, first, I have to say that I definitely don't think your child's education would be lacking with this program. I'm always a fan of programs that include physical textbooks, and I think it's really great that these videos go right along with the textbooks. So it's really not all that much different than if your child were in the classroom learning these lessons with an actual teacher. I think the curriculum is good and many homeschool parents swear by it. I've definitely never heard anyone say that the Abeka curriculum was not challenging enough or not thorough enough. But that leads me to what I don't like as much about it. I think it really can just be too much for a lot of families. Now, part of what makes it too much is that it's a lot of prep and teaching for parents. So the Abeka Academy video homeschool program sort of takes care of that for parents because you don't have to do much prep and you don't have to teach it. But it's still going to be just as much work for the student. And if you're following right along with the video program, I'm not sure how you would customize this. I don't think it would be that easy to just cut things out or skip over things the way you might do if you were teaching it yourself. And since the videos are filmed in actual classrooms, you can expect that the program would take about as long as it would take if your child was in an actual school, minus the time spent on classroom management. So that is definitely something to consider. You'll still, of course, have the flexibility of homeschooling where you could do these lessons whenever you want to, wherever you happen to be, but it's still a lot more like traditional school than I'm comfortable with. I always tell new homeschool families not to try to recreate school at home. And with Abeka Academy, I think that would be exactly what you'd be doing. So it's just not something that I would want to use in my homeschool. But for kids who are a lot more interested in doing school, or for families who really are looking for the traditional school experience at home, then this would probably be a great choice. If you have any questions on the Abeka Academy video homeschool program, or just a general question for me, please let me know in the comments and I will be happy to answer. And if you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, I'd really appreciate if you could let me know by either giving it a like or leaving me a comment. Thank you so much for watching.